All right, this is Bill Greene, Ross Fulton. We're out at the Ohio State Jersey scrimmage here Saturday. Let's talk wide receivers and tight ends today. And the tight ends, for the Ohio State fans that complain that the tight ends never get the ball, they got the ball today.
I think they had at least probably half the catches today. Wow. So Stoneburner, Hireman, and Fournette all played well. So
yeah, Stoneburner to me is on another level. He didn't get a ton of reps today, and I don't think there's much for him to prove. I think come Game 1 against Akron and continuing through the season, I think he will be the leading receiver at Ohio State this year, and I think he's special. I think he's headed to a nice NFL career. I love Jake.
Yeah, and you could tell that the coaches know what they've got there, because a lot of the passing offense is focused around hitting those tight ends in the middle on option routes, or those short little drag routes. So,
and we've got Fragel on the injured list right now, so that let the freshmen play. Fournette and Hireman both were very impressive, and let's touch on Hireman first.
I mean, he looks like he's ready to go. He has soft right now. He's getting open. He has soft hands. He blocks well. He will definitely get playing time. They used a lot of 2 tight end sets today, so I'm sure Hireman will get a lot of PT this year.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to redshirt Fournette either. We saw that 2 tight end set a lot with 1 wide receiver, and if you've got 2 on the field, majority of the time, you've got to have 2 other ones ready to go, and that's going to be Hireman and Fournette. Of the 2, Hireman to me was just so impressive, and some kids you see him and you think it's freshmen, they're talented, but they're raw. To me, Hireman is advanced.
Yeah.
So I think he must have played in a great high school system. He must have been coached well. I mean, he catches the ball really well, and he blocks nasty, and he doesn't have the frame yet he's going to have.
Yeah.
He'll be a better blocker 2 years from now than he is now. He's going to play. Fournette to me is just the soft-handed. I mean, he's going to catch everything.
Yeah.
He is never going to have he'll drop a touchdown pass now opening week probably, but he looks like a kid to me that will never have a drop ever in his career. The ball just nestles in his hands. He moves well for such a big guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's almost built more like a Stoneburner, where he's almost a tweener and looks kind of like a wide receiver running patterns out there.
For the wideouts, to me today, I mean, they didn't get a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
You had Berlin Reed and Philly Brown, and to me, Berlin Reed got locked up by Bradley Roby 99% of the time today. What about the freshmen, Devin and Evan?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's not a great sign that we talked about how great the tight ends look compared to the wide receivers, but if any receivers flashed, it was certainly the freshmen. Both had some big plays. Great run on the goal line too by
Evan Spencer.
Evan Spencer breaking a tackle for a touchdown. So they each had touchdowns, and as we said, they certainly showed more than you saw from some of the more older counterparts.
Chris Fields had that great play where he was down the seam and Braxton back shouldered him, and Chris spun out of a tackle and shot right to the end zone. I mean, that was a great play by Chris Fields.
Exactly, and
we need to see more of that from Chris.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, we saw some of the older guys, some of the same problems they had last year. Corey Brown was open on a deep pass, and he again didn't quite go after those deep passes that he had. And Ty Williams at Braxton had a great deep out throw to him right on the numbers, and he just dropped.
A bad drop.
Yeah.
Sometimes what fans call drops to me are not really drops.
No.
Guys got balls 10 feet over their heads, and the safety putting the helmet in the ribs, and then people say, "Oh, he dropped the ball." No. Tyrone Williams, that was a drop.
Yeah.
And it was a bad drop in the end zone. You've got to make that catch. So.
So I expect to see quite a bit of the short passing game we saw today that's heavily focused on working the middle of the field with the tight ends.
Do you think these freshmen are going to get time, Devin and Evan?
I have to think they will. I mean, I think certainly Devin Smith, I think, has got to be right in the mix for it.
And they really showed well today.
Yeah.
They showed no nerves. They look like they belong. They look like they felt like they belong.
Absolutely,
All right, Bill Greene, Ross Fulton, talking wide receivers and tight ends at Ohio State Jersey scrimmage.